What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burrow77. I apologize that I am a little bit late today. I was trying something new, and maybe today just wasn't the day to do it. Anyway, I have a full EPL slate for you guys here with the 10 a.m. slate. Just give me a second here while I get ready to pull some of this stuff up. I think Fulham versus West Ham ideally is the best game on the board today. But they're starting Antonio, which I think is a little bit of a mistake. Kudos is a guy that I would look at for shots on target, to score, assist. Bowden has been doing a little bit more of the work. He's got the armband as well. So I do like Bowden, shots on target, to score, assist. Wan-Bissaka will push up from the back a little bit and potentially get involved in this offense. They should be able to move decently quickly here on Fulham on the break. Fulham is not starting Evan Nielsen. They're starting Jimenez, who just has never been the same since he fractured his skull when he was with Wolves. So this isn't the strongest starting lineup we can see from Fulham. Iwobi likes to shoot. Smith Rowe, I think, is very capable. I like him for a shot on target and to score or assist. Traore is a pretty good shooter. He takes up a lot of the volume as well. I always like Pereira for a shot or a shot on target. He's Brazilian. He plays in the midfield. He shoots. He's aggressive. He gets involved in set pieces too. So it wouldn't be surprising to see him on free kick go for one on target. You got the American Anthony Robinson on the back line, who is pretty decent, but I think will have a little bit of trouble with Bowen. So that's a potential card look there. I like both teams to score in over 2.5 in this game pretty well. So that's where I'm at with this. The over 2.5 was a pretty good price last I checked on its own on Wednesday. So I would say that if you can still get a good number on that, go ahead and take it. Again, I apologize. I'm running a little late here. I'm trying to share this stream around really quickly, and then I will pull up my big board full of numbers. So just give me a second while I finish sending this out. All right, so let me pull up my big board full of numbers here. English Premier League. I also was a little tripped up because nobody was hanging any numbers for German Bundesliga, which kind of sucked. So West Ham on the road here, pretty significant dogs. Fulham just did have a super nice comeback on the road before international break against, who was it? It was Everton. Yeah, they were down 2-0 and then scored 3 goals in a quick comeback. So I can definitely not only see West Ham scoring here, but I think they're kind of live as dogs as well. We do have midweek football coming up for big clubs who play UCL ball. West Ham and Fulham aren't big clubs and they don't play UCL ball, so they have nothing really to worry about midweek. Let's see see, what can we get for a draw no bet here on West Ham? You can get plus 120 for a draw no bet on West Ham. I'm okay taking that if you like them as road dogs. Personally, I don't. I don't want to be involved with a winner on this game. I like the both teams to score in the over 2.5. The over 2.5 by itself is minus 120, so I think that's the move there. Moving on, we will talk quickly about City versus Brentford. I don't know what you guys really want me to say on this one. I'm certainly not laying minus 500 on the money line with City. I do not think Brentford's live dogs here. I think it's all City. I think that City is going to get on the board early and often. There are things I do like from Brentford because it's not like I don't think that they're going to do anything offensively. City at home is a wagon. Like I said, I like them to score early and often. So if you want to get involved with the first half goals market, I can't blame you. So let's take a quick look at over 1.5 in the first half. This isn't for team. This is total in the game. So over 1.5 in the first half is plus 100 over on FanDuel. I like that number. I can see 2 goals here. City occasionally will come out half asleep and concede one. They usually don't. I can see them stepping on the throat here, scoring 2 themselves in the first half. I can see Brentford getting on a break and scoring 1 as well. Mbuemo has been on fire for the Bees. So I always do like looking at Mbuemo to score assist. Nordegaard and Damsgaard have been sneaky good for Brentford here and finding not only space in the box to shoot, but putting it on target as well. Again, you're playing City away. This is a little bit of a different animal. This is one of the top 3 teams in the Premier League. So it is a little bit of a step up in class for Brentford. But that said, Damsgaard, I don't think he's on free kick duty here. I know he's capable of it. I've seen him do it for Denmark's national team. I know he's kind of got a wand of a foot, so I like him for a sneaky shot on target. Nordegaard, I would throw in there as well. Just be careful. There's going to be a limited amount of offense. Wiasa and Mbuemo are definitely the primary scorers. And the guys who I think are going to be most effective. But I think there's some long shot value there on Nordegaard and Damsgaard to put a shot on target. As far as City's concerned, look, there's going to be no value in Haaland. Like, I just don't – I don't care how much of a goal-scoring robot he is. You're just never going to find me endorsing somebody at minus 180 minus 200, minus 250, minus 280 to score a fucking goal. That's absolute nonsense, guys. A win cast being in the minus 160 neighborhood, suck my fucking dick, dude. Like, that's trash. Just don't even get involved with that. Find somebody else to make you money on Man City, because even a brace is going to be fucking worthless. So, again, that's my personal opinion. If you have to bet Haaland every single week, God bless you. I think you're a bad gambler. Moving on, we have Crystal Palace versus Leicester. I do think this is going to be a high-key, scrappy match. I think Leicester is live here away. Look, these teams don't have midweek football to deal with. So I do expect a pretty good match here. You guys know I like Jamie Vardy. I'm a big Jamie Vardy guy. I like his shithousery. I like Awayu as well. And Ndidi, I think, is a solid player. I think there's a lot of solid players here in this Leicester squad. This midfield is 2 complete fucking hacks, though. Winks and Skip are just walking bookings. So if you're into fouls, if you're into cards, those are 2 guys I would have circled for sure, because those guys are trash, or at least mega hacks. Both of them are just walking yellow cards waiting to happen. especially in winnable away games. And I do think that Leicester has more than half a chance here. I like them on the Asian handicap, +1, sitting around -135. I'm not super into half wins / half losses. So plus 0.75 at plus money isn't super valuable in my eyes. I would prefer to lay the juice and take the full +1 on the Asian handicap. I talked about this with Leg on 2 Foot Talk Wednesday, and it still holds true. I do still like Leicester to score 2 here. And you can get Leicester to score 2 at +300 now over on FanDuel. I think that's just too good of a number to pass up. I do like both teams to score in this game as well. Let's see if that's even remotely close to a playable number. I doubt it. Oh, it is. It is at -120. So I like this game. Both teams to score, sitting at -120. I think that's a really good number. I could also see getting involved with the over at -120, but I prefer both teams to score. Just because Crystal Palace versus Chelsea needed one more goal to get me the over 2.5, and they couldn't do it. Crystal Palace's offense has been sputtering. They are starting Nazi Keita, who came over from Arsenal, who is a little bit of a help in offense. Easy E. I love his shots. I like his shots on target. I like him to score or assist. Mateta is definitely worth a look as well. If you're a Mateta guy, I think Eddie will try and involve himself here. I'm just not sure how much training time he's had with these guys, so it's either going to be a boom or bust thing. If you want to ride as Eddie for his shots / shots on target, I think he's either going to shoot a whole bunch and put him on frame and get a goal or even an assist, or he's probably not going to contribute. So high risk, high reward there. Let's see what do I have to score or assist? I at least have anytime goal scorer. Let's just see what Eddie is. I mean, at +215, I think that's definitely worth a flyer. At +138 on MGM, kick fucking rocks. I have no interest in that. +175 on FanDuel's mid. I would rather get involved at Easy E at +185. That's just my opinion. 215 though on Bet Rivers, I think is playable. What's his assist? That's only going to give me FanDuel prices, but it's at least worth looking at. +650 for a dime from Nketiah. I know he's brought in to be more of a striker, but Eddie's got plenty of skill as a distributor. I sneakily think that is a really good line. He could dime one off to Mateta, and I could see Easy pushing up from that 10 position. So, yeah, I think it's worth it. It's kind of a long shot with them, with him just being a new face on this Crystal Palace team. Again, I do really like both teams to score here at -120. I think Leicester is a live dog here. I like them on the Asian handicap. If you're going to give me a full +1 at -130-ish. And I like Jamie Vardy. I like Aweyu here as well. This is a little bit of a revenge narrative for him, so I really like him to score or assist now that we're talking through it. Give me Jordan Aweyu in a revenge narrative to score or assist here for Leicester. Keeping it fucking moving because we got to go fast today. We got Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. Liverpool's quietly had, according to the advanced metrics, the best defense in the EPL. And they're at home at Anfield, and the number reflects that minus 375 over on BetMGM to all the way down to like minus 440 on FanDuel. And I'm not going to try and talk you out of it here. Look, Trent Alexander-Arnold is a fucking liability at right back waiting to happen, but Liverpool hasn't had to play the best of the best yet. Conte back there is really good. Virgil van Dijk always gets involved in set pieces, is always worth a look for a shot if you can find him at like minus 120 or shorter odds. McAllister is playing really well in the midfield. He can shoot from back there. He's Argentine, right? No, I can't remember if that's Scottish McAllister or Argentine McAllister. Doesn't fucking matter. Guy can shoot. Both of them can. So Luis Diaz is on absolute fire. The one thing I would caution you about going with Diaz is Liverpool has to play midweek. They need to get the job done here. Step on the throats, go up early, have it be in the first half, and get guys like Luis Diaz who are traveling back from Colombia on short rest the fuck off the pitch so that they can play 90 full minutes midweek for Champions League. I like Jota, who was away on international duty, but for Portugal, much less travel, much easier travel for Jota, and he's been playing well, so I like him here at the 9 to be involved. Sabitslai, I like him as a dime guy. I like him as a setup man. He also can put shots in and put shots on target. Salah is obviously Salah. I'm not going to try and talk anybody out of Salah unless his number is negative, which I'm pulling up right now for anytime goal scorers. Minus 120, if you want to get involved with him in a win cast to get a plus number, I'm not going to completely hate on you. It's just personally not my thing. I just don't love laying juice on anytime goal scorers. I would much rather have Jota at plus 135 than I would Salah at minus 120. I do like Salah to assist. If you want to play Salah to Jota or Jota to Salah for the reverse, Jota's not so much an assist guy, whereas Salah can do both in his sleep and is playing good football right now. Playing for Egypt isn't as terrible as travel as Diaz. I think anytime you got to cross the Atlantic and go down to South America, that's just a lot of travel. It's tough on your legs. And I think Diaz playing for Colombia and playing against Argentina in like a serious match probably put the most expenditure of work out for Liverpool in this international window. So I think Diaz is going to have the shortest rotation here and be on the pitch the least. I would kind of shy away from Diaz props, even though he's been extremely fucking hot recently. I think that you look to get him off the pitch as close to 60 minutes as possible and keep him ready for midweek, which means we could see a Darwin Nunez or some other subs here. As far as Nottingham Forest goes, I know a long flight, you're going to New Zealand. These are all the negatives I talked about Diaz for, but again, that's because I have higher expectations out of Liverpool. Nottingham Forest has been quietly playing pretty good football here, and Big Chris Wood is a fucking dog. This dude is, every time he goes anywhere, he's always ready to play. Big Chris Wood is a striker that for the last 4 years, you've been able to go out and sign him in the winter transfer window, and whoever signs him in the winter transfer window completely keeps their team out of relegation. Chris Wood drags teams kicking and screaming out of relegation spots, and I won't forget when he did it for Newcastle. He came back from an international window off of an insanely long flight from New Zealand, less than like 48-hour turnaround, got on the pitch, went in there, went to work, got it done, got a brace actually with an absolutely nasty header. So Big Chris Wood is a guy who's not going to give you insane flair. He's not a guy that you necessarily want to build your team around, but he's a guy who is used to the grind of the Premier League, is used to the grind of international travel, and he's a guy who's always going to step up and be counted on when you need him the most. So if Nottingham Forest does much today, I think it'll come through Chris Wood if they get on the score sheet. I do like Gibbs White. He is a shooter. James Ward-Prowse is absolutely lethal when it comes to free kicks and set pieces. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Look at Virgil van Dijk shots. Kind of fade Diaz here. Go Jota or Salah with your Liverpool looks. And if anybody's going to get in the back of the net here for not Forest, I'm assuming it's Big Wood, who was red hot before break, by the way. I also like Gibbs White shots and shots on target looks. Brighton versus Ipswich. Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know a ton about Ipswich. Brighton, look, they've been playing a lot better than people have expected. They do have a little bit of a rotated lineup here. They're going with a 4-4-2. I like Matoma and Danny Welbeck. I think are definitely worth looking at. Dunk is a fucking hack. That guy's a walking booking waiting to happen. So feel free to go ahead and look at that. One thing I want to do before we take off, I don't want to make a new layout. I don't want to edit layout. Shoot, can I just share my screen? There's got to be a way to share my screen here. Okay, this is baseball stuff. But whatever. With the last stuff, I want to show you guys before we get out of here. And I'm going to show you guys this once, and I'm going to do it quickly. Yeah, I get it. Just so you guys can see what, this stuff looks like in the project I've been working on. We'll use, who do we want to use as an example? We'll go with a balanced game. We'll go Crystal Palace versus Leicester. I want to show you guys my share screen window. Here we go. I want to show you my first half shot data. So if you guys are interested, one of the things we talk about a lot in here is first half shots and how advantageous this market is. If you guys join the Discord, these are my Excel files. I keep them for every single team in La Liga, EPL, and Italy, because they are the most consistent with the first half shots market. As you can see, I not only record the number of shots each team takes in the first half, I also record whether or not they are shots on target. Crystal Palace hasn't scored in the first half yet. I also record if they're goals. And WW, I think you can guess, stands for woodwork. I think these are all advantageous things to track and share with you all. And I'm not going to show you every page here. I'm only going to show you Leicester versus Crystal Palace. Leicester's been in a bit of a slump. They've had a really tough start to the season. They've played a lot of really hard teams, so they don't have a ton of shots in the first half. But just to give you an example of what my data looks like, this is, obviously goal stands for goal, shot on target, self-explanatory. If it doesn't have woodwork by it, shot on target or goal, that means it was blocked, wide, miss, whatever. It was a shot that, you can't find any extra gambling value to extort out of that. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I know I was late. I will do a better job preparing in the future. Make sure to follow me on social media. Whatever you do, make sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube. It is the biggest help to me. It costs you guys absolutely nothing. If you want access to all of my first half shot data, be sure to check out the links for the Discord down below. It's one of the many things I offer on top of all the other things I do. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, apologize for being late. I ran 5 minutes long to try and make up for it. I'm going to run the outro, make my bets, and get the hell out of here. Oaks out. Deuces. We outside.